Hi, today I'm here to kind of give you an overview of my math story that's based on slope. So, my math stories are based on sort of the idea of bringing some story elements into math to make it more interesting, that we bring in characters and we actually make students the characters, and that there's some interesting action or story that is hopefully being told that's interesting to the kids. And you'll see as we go through this that I try to use lots of almost primary kind of documents to tell the stories, like a video or memos or letters and things like that, that sort of give the students the information in hopefully a little bit more authentic way. And again, kind of makes them feel like they're part of the action. So here's the teacher's guide. When you first look at all these documents, I think it might feel a little overwhelming, not sure how they all fit together. Hopefully, the teacher's guide is nice and simple to put all that together for you. You can kind of see here that I've got it broken into 3 acts. And so each act is sort of a different math task that the kids are in charge of doing. And so here I'll give you a quick overview of what the math is that they're learning in that part. Here's the supplies that you need, whether you can copy things back to back, all of that sort of just how can I make this hopefully easy for you to implement, and then what needs to happen when they're done. So hopefully this page will be your guide that'll make it easy to see how the rest of these pages need to sort of work together to make this go. So then what's our story? What's our setup? So for this math story, the setup is that you're living in the future. It's kind of a post-apocalyptic world, and you are living on a agricultural compound that is providing food for this colony. And then you've got a message that comes to the president one morning, and it is from your head's groundkeeper who has found this vine that has been growing. And we look here, and over time, the head's groundskeeper has reported twice now that he's noticed this vine and he's worried about it. And that's sort of the setup. You've got this vine and it's worrisome because you're living on this, food growing compound. And so what's going to happen? So these documents sort of set up the story. And so then here we get to the first document where the kids are actually doing something. And with all these documents, it could be confusing. What are kids supposed to do? Where are they supposed to write? So I've made it color coded. So there's a gray box. Anytime the kids actually have to fill something out or do something, there's a gray box for them to fill it in. Here you can see on the bottom of each page, it tells you which act it's part of. So again, that should help you keep organized. But basically, this first report that they have to fill out, they are the groundskeepers, okay? And so we've got this map that shows point A is our initial spot that we found the vine, and point B is where it has grown to. And by looking through everything, the kids basically can now figure out how big it is. They can look back at the other documents and figure out how long it's been growing, and they come up with their initial rate of change or slope for that. And so then once they turn this one in, we move on to the next part, which is again is introduced with this memo. And the next task is basically, okay, we've decided this vine is a problem. We need to kill it. And we have this compound that will work, but it is locked away in a safe because it's so dangerous. So then the kids have to open the safe up. And so this is just a series of pretty straightforward slope problems, but they sort of help the kids come up with a combination that they have to put here. And then how you want to do this is up to you. I hid a letter for the kids, and after they had the correct combination to open the safe, I told them where to find the letter, and they sort of subtly went over so no one would know what they were doing to get their next task. And so this was the end of Act 2. And then Act 3 is, okay, now they've got this formula. They have to mix it up in the right ratios and using the right information so that they have the right formula to kill this vine. And we're using ratios, we're using you can see graphs and other information so that they're mixing up just the right amount. Again, here's where they'll show their work. And so that's the basic 3 parts of this task, where every part is sort of building on this idea of rate of change or slope. And then you've just got some supporting materials. Here you've got a couple of worksheets that are just slope worksheets that the kids can kind of get some extra practice. And then here we've got like a slope graphic organizer to help. So hopefully now you've got a better idea of what this particular math story is all about. Thank you.